In 1939, Dwight D. Eisenhower, in spite of his lack of combat experience, was already a successful U.S. Army staff officer. In 1941, he was promoted to Brigadier General and immediately following the Japanese attack on Pearl Harbor was posted to Washington to head the United States War Division. Eisenhower was convinced of the need for the earliest possible cross-channel invasion as the most direct route to the defeat of Germany. In 1942, he was dispatched to London, where his success with Churchill and senior British officials resulted in his appointment as commander of U.S. forces in the European theater. Eisenhower's powers of diplomacy made him an obvious choice as commander of the Anglo-American torch invasion of North Africa, a plan devised by Churchill and accepted by Roosevelt at the Arcadia Conference. For the torch landings, Eisenhower assembled a fully integrated staff, each position jointly filled by an American and a British officer. The result was to reduce potentially dangerous friction. Although the Allied operations in Tunisia which followed the torch landings were beset by difficulties, Eisenhower's decisiveness in the face of setbacks contributed strongly to the eventual defeat of Axis forces in North Africa. As Supreme Allied Commander in North Africa from February 1943, Eisenhower oversaw the Allied invasions of Sicily in July and the Italian mainland in September. In December 1943, he was appointed Supreme Commander of the Allied Expeditionary Force for Operation Overlord, the invasion of Normandy. Eisenhower's new appointment was due above all to his diplomatic skills. His considerable tact would be tested to the limit in his direction of the D-Day landings, an operation involving many nations, armies, and political leaders. In September 1944, Eisenhower presided over a controversial compromise between the forceful figures of Montgomery and Patton. Instead of choosing a single commander to lead a narrow front advance into Germany, Eisenhower satisfied neither of his competing subordinates and possibly prolonged the war by deciding to attack on a broad front. In spite of his reputation for seeking consensus at all costs, Eisenhower displayed considerable military as well as diplomatic ability. His determined and rapid response in the Battle of the Bulge, in which he deployed 200,000 reinforcements in 4 days, was instrumental in achieving an Allied victory. One of the most popular and respected generals of the war, Eisenhower commanded Allied occupation forces in Germany until the end of 1945.